Imagine walking into a house where every shadow hides a secret, where reality blurs with nightmares, and where the walls have witnessed horrors beyond imagination. This isn't just any haunted house story. This is real. A true case so disturbing that it was erased from public memory until now. A call was made to the police from an upscale neighborhood in the USA. A man named Partho Doe was found dead in his apartment's bathroom. His body was completely burnt, with a bottle of kerosene and a matchbox beside him. But what shocked the police most was this. Partho Doe had died in the exact same way his father did 2 years ago, a pattern of death repeating itself. And this led the authorities back to the terrifying case of what was once known as the House of Horrors. June 10th, 2015. Firefighters were called to a burning house in one of the USA's most prestigious areas. Smoke was billowing from the windows, but no one seemed to be inside. Just to be sure, a firefighter rang the doorbell, and to their shock, the door opened. A frail man in his 40s stood there, weak, pale, as if life itself was slipping away from him. The firefighters were about to ask him something when an unbearable stench hit them. A smell so foul, so unnatural, that it made them step back. Inside, they found a horrific sight. A bathroom door, locked from inside, smoke seeping out. They broke it open, and what they saw inside would haunt them forever. Inside the bathtub lay a burnt corpse, reduced to blackened remains. A bottle of kerosene was near it, along with a suicide note that read, "No one is responsible for my death. Love you, my son." It was the body of Arbindo Doe, the father of Partho Doe. But the real horror was yet to be discovered. The police arrived and began searching the house. At first, it just looked like an abandoned, decaying mansion. But then, things got weirder. The entire house was covered in dust and filth. The windows were shut tight, blocking out all sunlight. A strange, soft, eerie voice was playing from an old recorder, almost like a woman whispering lullabies. And the smell, it was unbearable. Then, inside one particular bedroom, they found something that made their blood run cold. Lying on a bed, as if peacefully sleeping, was a skeleton. A human skeleton, dressed in old clothes. Beside the bed was a sack. Inside it, 2 more skeletons, the remains of 2 Labrador dogs. For months, maybe years, someone had been living in this house with the dead. To understand how this nightmare began, we need to go back in time. The Doe family had moved into this house years ago, after Arbindo Doe retired. They were a close-knit family. Arbindo, his wife Arati, their daughter Devjani, and their son Partho. Arati was overly protective of her children. She didn't let them make friends or socialize. The siblings only had each other, and as they grew older, their bond became almost unnaturally strong. Partho was brilliant, working in the IT sector, while Devjani became a music teacher. Everything seemed normal until tragedy struck in 2007. Arati was diagnosed with cancer and passed away. This broke the family. Partho quit his job abroad and returned home. Devjani left her teaching career. Slowly, they isolated themselves from the world. And then, in 2015, Devjani disappeared. After the discovery of the skeleton, DNA tests confirmed the horrifying truth. This was Devjani Doe. She had been dead for over 6 months. The most disturbing part? Partho lived with her corpse, believing she was still with him. He talked to her, left food for her, even played music for her at night. And the 2 dogs? They had died around the same time. But Partho couldn't bear to part with them either. He kept their remains too. But how did she die? Autopsy reports suggested she had starved to death. But was it suicide? Or something more sinister? When the police questioned Partho, they realized he was completely detached from reality. He spoke as if his sister was still alive. He insisted she visited him every night. The case was beyond disturbing. Mental health professionals believe Partho had suffered a psychological breakdown after years of isolation and grief. He was diagnosed with severe delusional disorder and sent to a psychiatric hospital. But what about Arbindo? Did he know his daughter was dead? If so, why didn't he say anything? Why did he kill himself? Some believe he discovered the horrifying truth too late and couldn't live with it. Years passed. Partho received treatment and was eventually released, but he never truly escaped the darkness. 2 years later, he took his own life in the exact same manner as his father, burning himself to death. And so, the last chapter of the House of Horrors was written. The mansion was abandoned. No one dared to go near it. Some say the spirits of the family still linger, trapped in the place where their lives unraveled. Others believe it's cursed, a house that drives its residents to insanity and death. To this day, no one knows the full truth. Did Devjani really starve to death? Or was there something more sinister at play? Why did Arbindo remain silent? And why did Partho hold on to the dead for so long? Some questions may never be answered, but one thing is certain. The story of this house will haunt anyone who hears it. And now, you've heard it too. If this story shocked you, imagine how many others have never heard about it. There are countless mysteries out there, stories buried in history, waiting to be uncovered. If you love diving into the darkest and strangest cases, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button if this story sent chills down your spine, and turn on notifications so you never miss another terrifying tale. Because in the world of mysteries, some things are best left in the dark, but we're here to shine a light on them. See you in the next video.